You're listening to the Future Tech Podcast with Richard Jacobs. Future technologies such as artificial intelligence, stem cells, 3D printing, gene editing, Bitcoin, blockchain, the microbiome, quantum computing, virtual reality, and exploring space are much closer than you might think. In fact, many early versions of these technologies are in play right now, and the companies that are using these technologies are the focus of this podcast. My goal for you, the listener, is to learn from these podcasts. You may very well learn something that may change the course of your life for the better, steer you towards a new career, or give you insight into addressing a thorny medical problem. Remember, this podcast and its content is informational in nature only. No medical, tax, legal, financial, or psychological advice is being given. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please listen, subscribe, like, and tell your friends about it. Thank you. Hello, this is Richard Jacobs, the Future Tech and Future Tech Health Podcast. I'm in Texas in the U.S., and my guest is Canberra, Australia. We were just joking that afternoon here and early morning there, and summer here and winter there, and 2019 here and maybe the year 2030 there. I don't know. But anyway, his name is Armando Hazadungan. He does these really amazing explainer videos for various medical conditions and for biochemistry and things like that. So I saw him on YouTube and I wanted to seek him out. So Armando, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, what got you into doing these amazing explainer videos?
So it was more of accident. I just summarize. In high school, I didn't do actually any science or anything. I was more of an artsy type student, so I did more art and languages. And I decided to, after high school, I decided to go into medicine essentially. So I had to do a science, a pre-med course, and I struggled with it because I wasn't used to studying science, and I relied on drawing things out to understand concepts. And it was in one of the courses I was doing, pharmacology, that the lecturer asked us to do a presentation, and I thought, why don't I try to draw something out and explain by drawing and then recording myself? And I did. And I found that to be extremely useful for my learning. I found that I was able to remember, I was able to retain the information, and I found that I was able to understand the topic because I was using all styles of learning. I was using, writing, editing, hearing, and speaking. So all these modes of learning, which is pretty cool. And so I decided to do more because I thought, it was amazing. And then from there, I decided to upload on YouTube accidentally just to see what happens. And people liked it. They gave me good feedback. So that was, it motivated me to do more. It was a win-win situation.
Did classmates see your stuff? Like, did your whole class see it? And what did they say?
Yeah, so it's pretty funny. So I have done 2 degrees, one biomedical science and the second medicine. And in biomedical science, people knew what I was doing, but it was very new. And my channel wasn't so big, but they were supportive and they thought it was cool. But slowly it grew. My channel grew year by year, and then when I got into medical school, it was actually really funny. I think it was first year towards the end. I didn't tell anyone I did these videos, but people actually used it in my class without knowing it was me. And actually one of the lecturers even used it, and he found out, and he actually said it in front of the whole lecture room that was me doing the videos, and it was pretty funny, and it was really nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. Really just mind blown. Yeah.
No, it's really cool. And again, it explains it tremendously. Have you found that, universities, medical schools want your videos for their curriculum? Has this turned into a business for you, or what happened?
Yeah, that's a great question, Richard. So throughout the years I've done these videos, different institutions and learning organizations, like online, be it online or private organizations, have approached me and asked if they could use my videos. And it's free. I just say, you can use it if you just embed it directly to you. That's fine. And slowly, also, some universities have Um, I know a few universities in the United States that have used it and directly embedded into their learning curriculum somehow. And also a few universities in Europe. I can't think of any on the top of my head, unfortunately. I should keep a tab, but there have been, which is pretty cool, to be honest. But in terms of business model, though, I'm not really, unfortunately, I'm not. I don't have a business mindset, and which is a shame because I feel like this could turn into something really good. I know, for example, I'm actually doing everything by myself. I'm creating the videos, I'm replying to emails, I'm doing everything by myself, which I think takes a lot of time. So that takes time away from making it grow a lot faster than
Well, what's your vision for what it could be? What would you like it to be if it was a big business?
Well, I should take a step back. Like, I have a feeling that this could be a good business model, but at the same time, scared to make it a good business model because I started this because I was passionate about, I really loved to draw, and I really, I did it for myself, and it was just a hobby. It was just a hobby. But slowly it became, I would say, a passion because, I saw that it was doing good for people, and it was, I always had a good feeling whenever people gave me good feedback. So I started doing it for other people as well, and I liked that it was free and available because I know during medical school it's a struggle to find resources there, visual resources. So at the same time, I do want to make it available and free, of course, always. So yeah, it's hard, because at the same time, I do want to be rewarded, but at the same time, I'm already rewarded by all the positive feedback and
Right. Well, what's the response from people when they know that you do these videos? Do they say, "Oh man, I wish I could do that," or do they say, "I'd love to do that, but I can't draw," or what kind of feedback do you get from people that not only like it but want to do it for themselves?
Yeah. I mean, the feedback I get from people, there's a lot of, as there's a lot of learning styles out there, and I guess the people that are more visual always say, "Oh, this is awesome," I'm a visual learner. This is great stuff. And obviously there are some who really want, who really want to try to do their own mind maps and illustrative diagrams as well. But and mind maps are usually they're a common thing in medical school and science, just standard concepts, pathophysiology, biochemistry, but what I do is I try to make it look nice and appealing, I guess. And people ask me how can I do that, and I'm just saying, and all I can tell them is, I just take time doing this, and I also use existing resources out there. Like I use existing and sort of change it in a way to make it my own. So when people do ask how do I do it, I actually tell them how to do it, how they can start, how they can do it. I can't really think of
Maybe there's a course in there on how maybe that's what you sell, is how you can do this.
Oh wow, that's a pretty good idea.
I'll sign up for the course right now.
Rich,
I'll sign up right now.
You can be the manager. Help me out with this.
It's just I love to learn. That's why I do this podcast, and I can tell you, like, what you're doing is rare and incredibly useful. Especially in the health world. You can look maybe static pictures online, but again, it's just very rare. There's either like dry lecture from someone's mouth and you're falling asleep, or there's maybe like a slide or two. But this is super needed. That's why I'm interested in it. So I wanted to talk to you.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Actually, on that point, so over the past 2 years, I've wanted to present live. So everything I've been doing was behind a computer screen or drawing and all that stuff. But then I sort of wanted to, present my things live. So the past 2 years, I've started to do some presentations at some universities. It began actually in Europe on my holidays, and sort of I've been started to do it here in Australia as well. And and in these presentations, what I do is it's a mixture of things. It's obviously it's medical based, so it's like case presentations on different stuff. But during this presentation, illustrations, part of it is I would do a drawing in that I would connect, my tablet to the big screen, and I would draw live, and then and then distribute students me as I draw, so they can draw with and I've had
that's great.
So, business things, but it's pretty cool. So hopefully see where that goes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this could be embedded into lectures that professors do if they're describing the heart. You can, as they talk, the professor would have to know this, but lines would start appearing and the drawing would start to take shape, and different concepts would be, arrows would come in, and it would be like a walkthrough explainer as they explain, and they would kind of, they'd have to time it to what you have, but they could, I guess, with a click and various elements would appear, and you'd help bring to life their lecture.
Yeah, that's so in this presentation I also have this method in that I would have a final image, and actually I would edit it. Actually, in the presentation, I have this thing called illustration walkthrough, where I have let's just say a final image, and let's just say it's the heart you're talking about. But in illustration walkthrough, so as you said, I would always start off with I would edit it, so I would start off with something small, let's just say the border of the heart, and then I would add elements to it, as you said, until it becomes this big final image. So explain concept bit by bit. So it's an effective way of learning, and it's super cool.
What's the hardest thing for you about doing what you do? Like, when you did your first video or your first drawing to now, what's gotten better and easier for you to do? What were the skills that you had to fix?
That's a very good question. So, I mean, as you can imagine, with anything new, it doesn't, it's when I look back, it doesn't look like my first video. It looked pretty bad. The graphics, I had my shadow, like there's a lot of shadows in the screen, and the pens I use and my handwriting was pretty horrendous. So as the years went by, I definitely have made, good use of lighting. I've got a better camera. Which made the graphics, the video actually look much more appealing. I've used better pens, and I've tried to improve my handwriting, so the visuals look a lot better. I've also started to draw a lot better, because before I did drawings really quickly, just because I wanted to, because it was for my learning. I wanted to just draw it quickly, and so I can understand things a lot quicker for exams, for example. But now I knew that because I'm also providing this to the public, I wanted to actually make it good. So started to do better drawings, and I've started also, since my first video, I've started to do scripts, whereas in the past I would actually just wing it in a way. Now I'm sort of doing scripts, and at the same time now I'm using a lot more resources, because there's so many resources online where I get my information from. So I do a mixture of resources. I read more articles now, which I can incorporate into the video. I guess so in terms of improving the video, that's what's happened over the past many years. But what's gotten more difficult is, I guess, one is the demand for it. So there's a lot of people, requesting videos and wanting this, wanting that, which is fair. But it's difficult to provide this, given that it's just me doing it. But the second thing is, difficult thing is getting people involved. So I've tried to get people involved, and I found that difficult because, firstly, I don't know how to do it properly. I mean, I'm just asking around. I'm contracting some illustrators to see if they could do something similar. But then at the same time, I have to review it, and I have to make sure that it's of quality. So I found that difficult to get other people involved. And I guess the third big thing is I find it difficult now with the videos because I find creating videos regularly is getting more difficult because of my full-time job as a doctor, and it's time consuming. I mean, I it's hard. I've got many things to do, and but I still love doing the drawings, but I find it hard to find time, which is a shame.
Well,
and that's why I was trying to get
What kind of a doctor are you? That's all right.
So right now I'm in Australia. So I'm down in the food chain in terms of doctor. It's very different in the United States, but I think I would be a senior resident or something like that, the United States equivalent.
Okay.
So I'm hopefully training to become an oncologist. Hopefully that's the goal. But I mean, again, it's So that's a lot on my plate there. But there's this education and also my extracurricular stuff.
Well, here's what I was going to tell you. So once you settle in, or maybe even now, there's going to be certain talks you're going to have over and over again with your patients. Why not make videos for those? That would help your time as a doctor. Like if you have to explain, let's say you tend to focus on breast cancer, and there's 4 types. I'm just making this up. You make videos for all 4 of those to explain it. Now in your practice, it would save you tremendous time, and you could use all the work you've been doing to help your patients because it would give them a much better explanation than just talking to them. So that's one way that, your skill could be used for you as you move along. When you pick the most common talks that you're going to have 100,000 times over and you add that in,
Yeah, I mean, no, that's definitely something I am thinking about doing once I've come to that position as a specialist. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But I mean, but also the issue is time. I mean, there's a lot of things that I could cover, and delivering this information to patients would be super helpful, especially for them, their family, everyone. But again, I need to find a way to create these videos, people, and so hopefully I'll get to that point. Definitely.
Well, what's your number one video, and does it surprise you that it's number one?
Well, can you guess? Do you know what it is? Or I know what it is, but I was just asking maybe if you want to guess.
Oh, the one with the most views, I would guess, but I don't know. Is it about cancer, or what is it about?
No, actually, surprisingly, it's the menstrual cycle. So it's
okay.
But there is a reason for that. It's actually it's extremely complicated topic, and a lot of people struggle with it when they come to it. But I somehow managed to create a video that actually, when I did it, actually, this kind of makes sense, and I think other people found it very useful because it's been shared a lot, so it's pretty cool. So that's the most popular, and the second, I think, a lot of my immunology videos are actually very popular, and and the reason for that, again, immunology is an extremely complicated topic, so it's incorporating visuals to it, creating a story, creating a narration was very useful for me, and I think it was useful for other people as well, which is cool.
Have you done have you ever taken one of your videos and done a Q&A where you draw the answers to the top questions you get? Like, let's say you took the menstrual cycle video and you opened it up to viewers and you said, hey, I'm taking up to 7 questions on this, and I'll do a video that encompasses all 7, the top questions, and I'll draw out the answers and stuff. That might be a way to further dimensionalize it.
Wow, never thought of that actually. It's a pretty good idea. I mean, that's a good idea. But I've thought about doing a live Q&A through Instagram, for example, Instagram Live, with a social media platform. We can go live and sort of asking people, ask me anything. So I mean, that would be actually that'd be a pretty cool idea to maybe say that for one of the videos or a video I've uploaded recently. But I think that's a pretty cool idea about getting the top few questions and making it into a video. And I would definitely do that. I think if I had someone else help me get that. Yeah.
It sounds like, I know. So, I mean, I guess it's weird to say this in a lot of podcasts, but like, literally, if you think about it, you want to become a doctor to help people, but it may, and I'm not saying it will, but it may be that through your drawings, you can help millions of people versus only several thousand through your practice, let's say. So you may not end up ever becoming, I'm sure you're perfectly capable, but your path may take a total right turn. Like, if you think about it, you really build out this explainer stuff. I mean, you can affect positively and help millions and millions of people through these videos. You being a doctor yourself, yes, you can help a lot of people, but I would bet you could help literally 10 to 100 to 1,000 times the number of people through your videos instead. So your life path may at some point like divert that way. It may not. I don't know, but that's just the feeling I get based on seeing your work.
Yeah, Richard. I mean, no, thank you for that. I mean, that's really nice. You're absolutely right. It's just to be open with you. I love medicine, and I also, it's a real privilege to be in this specialty, especially, seeing that you're able to help people and seeing, always contribute to their health, like helping their health in some way. It's a privilege, but
yeah.
I am torn. I am torn between clinical medicine and teaching, and as you said, helping a lot of people online, for example. And I am in a situation where I actually, there's a lot of paths. There's a few paths I could take, and I don't know which one to take. And it's something that I really have to, think about carefully, and or maybe just go with the flow, and maybe things will pop up, and maybe then I will know. Okay, that's I definitely want to commit 100% to this channel. But I think I'll go with the flow for now. Yeah.
Interesting. Have companies paid you to make a video just for them, or have doctors again or other commercial concerns, have they paid you or sponsored a video, or again paid you for like a proprietary video just for them?
Yeah. Yes, they have. I'll. It's actually really really cool what happened. I'll tell you the story. I think this was one of the best things that happened to me, actually. So when I started making these videos, that was during my first stint was biomedical science. Now, and that was when the channel was slowly growing. Now, during that time, I actually applied for this scholarship with this organization about science communication, and I somehow got it. They liked what I did, and basically hired me to do videos for them. And so they got me to do videos for them for a few months and paid me to do it, which was amazing, and it was a boost of confidence. Interestingly enough, the guy that hired me, he actually was the head of some data visualization in a medical organization next to the medical school I actually got into the following year. So it was cool because I was able to continue working for him while at medical school. So I continued to work as a science communicator and illustrator, animator, the stuff I do for this medical organization. I guess what I did was I would convert their research. So this could be on cells, be on cancer. I would convert their research into the types of video I do, which is a handwritten diagrams online, and that was cool. So that and doing that actually opened a lot of doors in terms of other medical institutions and other organizations around Australia found out what I did. So there was the Sydney Children's Hospital, for example. There was that I did that saw some of my work and wanted me to do a video for them. So I did. There was also Quit Lyme Australia, which is smoking, to help people quit smoking. But not only that, I was very happy and humbled that people actually, pharmaceutical companies started approaching me and other organizations. So to this day, I'm still doing contract work, and it's a challenge. I'm doing work for other people, not actually for myself, if that makes sense. It's a challenge because I'm trying to create something in the vision of someone else, which is a challenge, but I enjoy it. So I mean, it's good, but at the same time, I have to say that it does take away the the passion a little bit from what I initially had, because I'm no longer doing it for me, in terms of what I want to do, because that was a lot easier. But when I start doing it for other people, and they always give me feedback, they always criticize it in some way. It does take a little, it does make me feel a bit sad. It's a double-edged sword, really. It's good, but it's bad.
Well, Armando, I don't want to take really any more of your time, but I don't know if you want people to get in touch with you. I mean, certainly we want them to go to your YouTube channel and watch your videos, but if you'd like people to be able to get in touch with you, what's a way they can do that? How would you like them to see your stuff?
Oh, Richard, thank you. Look, I mean, please, so essentially, if you enjoyed our talk, please, you can contact me. So it's actually kind of long email. So it's Armando Hasudunan. So it's my first name and my middle name, actually, Hasudunan. Armando Hasudunan, lowercase, no space, @gmail.com. If you're interested in science communication, or if you want me to get involved in some projects, I'm more than happy to talk. Shoot me an email.
Well, very good. Well, Armando, like I said, you're a unique talent, and you bring a lot to the fields of science and medicine. So thank you for all that you do. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Richard. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're listening to the Future Tech Podcast with Richard Jacobs. Future technologies such as artificial intelligence, stem cells, 3D printing, gene editing, Bitcoin, blockchain, the microbiome, quantum computing, virtual reality, and exploring space are much closer than you might think. In fact, many early versions of these technologies are in play right now, and the companies that are using these technologies are the focus of this podcast. My goal for you, the listener, is to learn from these podcasts. You may very well learn something that may change the course of your life for the better, steer you towards a new career, or give you insight into addressing a thorny medical problem. Remember, this podcast and its content is informational in nature only. No medical, tax, legal, financial, or psychological advice is being given. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please listen, subscribe, like, and tell your friends about it. Thank you.